If you're thinking about coming up with your own media center at home, this podcast is for you. When it comes to home entertainment, nothing beats a media center. Out there in the market, one can find 100 different ready-to-use media center systems from many companies. But the thrill and satisfaction of building your own custom-made media center is just unbeatable. However, building a media center totally from scratch is no child's play. It requires a certain amount of know-how, a bit of luck, and a lot of patience. So if that sounds good to you, let's bring it on. Building a media center. Manually setting up a whole media center involves integrating various components together into one seamless network that performs as a team. The main things to set up are the following. For the actual building process, you will need a pair of cable cutters for the speaker system connections. You will also need a static wrist strap to avoid damaging the Raspberry Pi with static electricity. You might also want to invest in a case for the Raspberry device to keep it safe from dust, dirt, and accidental damage. The television. This device is easy to set up. All you have to do is to place it in the right direction and ensure that the positioning is apt for viewing. The television itself will receive the audio and video cabling from the media center device. The type of audio and video cable you will need depends on what the TV supports. Now, most modern TVs come with HDMI support. The PC. As with any media center, the PC will act as the heart of the unit. All the media that you will view will be streamed to the TV from the PC. An inexpensive and amazing solution for this would be to go for the Raspberry Pi, a credit card-sized computer that's powerful enough for media center needs. The Raspberry Pi comes with 2 USB ports, an Ethernet port, and support for HDMI cables, as well as an SDHC card slot. The SDHC card will contain the Media Center software. XBMC is a good option, and you can connect a USB keyboard and your external storage solution to the 2 USB ports. The Raspberry Pi takes power from the mini USB port, so a mini USB charger will also be needed. The audio setup. Setting up the audio is easy, as long as you plan it well before beginning. First, determine how many rooms will be involved in a media center plan. Would you want to have the audio audible in more than just the main hall? Choosing the right kind of coaxial cable is also very important. Once the speaker systems are set up, the cabling needs to be done in such a way that it does not hinder movement inside a home and does not look ugly either. Cabling system. The cabling system you choose will determine how well your media center will perform. Digital coaxial audio cable is the best for this job, and setting it up is quite easy. However, it is important to choose the coaxial cable with the right impedance. Impedance is the most important factor in a coaxial cable, which determines the level of power transferred across to the speakers. For the media center, the digital coaxial audio cable with 75 ohms impedance is the best for video streaming, while the 50 ohms coaxial cable is fine for audio. Also, a higher impedance value will be necessary if the distance between the media center and the speakers is greater. Connectors. You will need certain types of connectors. HDMI, audio female type, in case of a custom-made speaker, and audio male type connectors. Most speakers come with a female jack of 3.5mm, and the male connector must be on the same dimensions. Storage. A proper storage solution is essential for the media center. With the Raspberry Pi being used, you will need to go for an external hard disk drive for storage that can communicate with the Raspberry through a USB cable. Otherwise, a NAS solution will also do, as the Raspberry Pi comes with an Ethernet port too. Another important factor to consider is to connect the device to Sky Plus Box, allowing you to access a lot of live and streaming content from across the globe. Okay, now that you have a basic idea of all the components we will use, let's put them together. Now here are the steps you should follow. First, get all your components together and organize them in a way that you will find them all easily accessible. Then, insert the SDHC card into the slot in the Raspberry Pi and enclose it in the case. With the case ready, now connect the various cables from the Raspberry Pi. Connect the mini USB charging cable to the port and keep it ready to be plugged in. Next, connect the HDMI cable to the display television. Then, connect the external storage device to your USB port. For the audio cables, if used, need to be connected from the television to the speakers. The TV probably has specific audio ports for specific channels. If the TV sports a 5.1 channel system, you will have 6 audio ports: rear left, rear right, front left, front right, middle, and a subwoofer. Now make sure to connect the right speaker to the right port. Then, connect the USB keyboard to the Raspberry Pi, boot the system, and turn on the TV. If all goes well, you should now be able to see the Raspberry Pi booting up on your TV. Now, start up the XBMC software and test your connections by playing media files off of your external storage. And there you have it. This was a crash course in setting up a basic cabling system and a homemade media center that works amazingly well for all your entertainment purposes. Once you set up this media center, the possibilities are endless. Hours of fun and limitless entertainment for the whole family. Take care.